Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Luke, and you're watching Pokemon Everything. Thanks for checking out the channel. Well, I just got back from another amazing time at my locals. We had our league, and so we got the Pokemon prize pack just for participating in league play. That's awesome. And today I went 2-1. I won 2 games, lost 1 game, so I got 2 packs as prizes, plus this, which is what I really love. So we'll open up these at the end after I talk about the deck that I used today. The deck that I used today, it went 2-1, and in fact I wasn't going to use this deck. I had a friend who was going to actually use this deck instead, but she got sick right before the tournament and couldn't make it, which was really sad for me. So I decided, hey, I'll just use the deck because I want this deck to get used. There's a lot of really cool cards in there. And it's a Charizard Dragapult deck with Pidgeot. And here's the thing about this deck. It's got some really powerful Pokemon. I mean, obviously Charizard EX is one of the most powerful Pokemon ever. But it's not like a huge winner in terms of the meta. I think Dragapult at the beginning of Twilight Masquerade, when Dragapult came out in this set, it was rumored or said to be the biggest, baddest new card. That hasn't turned out to be the case. In fact, people have had a hard time building Dragapult decks to really be consistent and good. I feel like Charizard actually has paired really well with Dragapult, and this is by far not the best deck I have. I think I have much more consistent decks, better decks, but it is powerful in its own right. And so I have this deck together. We'll see if it improves as new sets continue to come out. So let's take a look at how this 2-1 deck did. I'll talk about a couple of things. Number one, it did lose to Raging Bolt Ogerpon. So that's another deck that I love to play, Raging Bolt Ogerpon, where you have the Teal Ogerpon and it's just loading up grass energy. You have Raging Bolt just bolting everything. It's great to defeat big guys like Charizard, Dragapult. It's just meant to one-shot those guys. So this deck didn't do well against it. It was a bad matchup. And then on to the next matchup, which was against sort of a Mimi deck. It was one of those Iron Tusk try to mill you out decks. Unfortunately, they couldn't get anything going, and Charizard just eats those guys alive once you get Charizard out. So that was pretty simple win. And the third game was a slugfest. I had to play against a quad Iron Crowns deck, which was not something I expected. That just meant I ditched all the Charizards. I didn't play any of them. Buddy Poffined. I had 4 Treepies on the table at one point, and all I used was Dragapult. Dragapult won the game for me. Was able to defeat the Iron Crowns because Iron Crowns shuts off abilities, and I was just like, okay, forget Charizard, forget Pidgeot, forget everybody. Dragapult's the way to go, and I ended up winning. It was a slugfest, real tough matchup for this deck, but it pulled it off, and I was really impressed with that final win. But let's check out the deck. I am gonna post a full link to this deck list down below. I finally joined one of those Pokemon deck making sites. I forget which one it is, but I will probably start posting more decks there. So if you're interested, I'm Black Sheep 217 there. That's also my Pokemon TCG handle name, Black Sheep 217. It's just a handle I've had forever in other things. I know Pokemon Everything here, but Black Sheep 217 is something I've just had. So Pokemon Online, that's me, and then also on that deck building site. So check it down below if you're part of that. That's awesome. All right, let's check out the deck. So we got Charizard EX. We got 3 of them. I feel like 3 was a great number. 4 was not, I guess. 4 was too many. So we got 3. 3 was enough. We have 4 Charmanders. The 70 HP Charmander is the one I went with. And having these base Pokemon are super important. I have 1 Charmeleon in case I need to evolve via Charmeleon, but this is not a card that I'm hoping to really play very much. But they do come in handy, you know. They really do come in handy. Again, 3 Dragapults. 3 Dragapults because super strong. And this is equally a Dragapult deck that it is a Charizard deck, but I do kind of want to have Charizard out first because Charizard can ramp up Dragapult with fire energy. Now I do have 2 Dracloaks. Dracloak is much better than Charmeleon. This Recon Directive ability where you can pick up 2 cards every turn, put one under the deck, and then put one into your hand is really good. And so Dracloak actually helps you sift through the deck. I only put 2 in there. I wish at one point I had 3. I was trying to decide 2 or 3. I ended up with 2. But excellent stage 1 Pokemon. And then of course you need your 4 Dreepies. I think the Dreepies are really important. And then if you can get Pidgeot going, that's just the icing on the cake where you can just start selecting cards you want right out of the deck. But again, you have to go basic into Pidgeot via rare candy. It's the only way to do it in this deck. Rotom, when we had the old Charizard deck, Rotom was great. If you used like a Nest Ball or something to get this out on turn 1, you could use Instant Charge and just start trying to rebuild your hand. That's what Rotom is for. Lumineon is awesome. Luminous Sign to get any supporter you want is so powerful. In fact, I won a game because of Lumineon today. I Lumineoned a Luminous Sign for Boss's Orders, and then Boston, a key card, was able to win that way. Manaphy, also important. You know, one of the biggest enemies of this deck is Radiant Greninja, where Greninja will just come down and start just slicing up 90 damage to 2 of your Pokemon. And if all you have are your basics out there, you're not even going to be able to get going. So Manaphy is super key for that type of thing. Ace-Spec card, I went with Hero's Cape. Hero's Cape just makes like Charizard a 400 something HP Pokemon. It's going to be a 430. That's ridiculous. And Dragapult's going to be a 420. So oftentimes, you know, you want to get out of reach of some of those real big Pokemon killers out there, like Chenpao, like Raging Bolt. But if they're not even there, if you don't have those guys out there, this makes Charizard just so much harder to one-shot, which is what you don't want. You don't want to hit Charizard one-shot. In fact, if it takes 3 shots to kill him, that's going to be the best thing. Hero's Cape makes it super annoying. So I love Hero's Cape for that purpose. Arven, 4 of these. These are so important because Arven's going to grab you all the things you need. So you look at your hand and you might need energy. So hopefully this will grab you an Earthen Vessel. Or this thing grabs you a Nest Ball, which grabs you Lumineon, which grabs you another supporter. Or the rare candy that you need. These are things that Arven gets you. It's one of the key cards in the deck, and it just stands in for so many cards. If you don't have Arven, then Professor's Research, I put 3 of them. I think Professor's Research is super important as well, just because you really need to dig through this deck sometimes, and sometimes you just need a hard reset, and that's what Professor's Research does. Iono, again, another dig through your deck. I only put 2 of them in. Sometimes with this deck, you actually end up on the front foot where you're winning, and so you don't want to Iono yourself because you're going to end up with a smaller hand than your opponent. But sometimes you de-Iono, so I put 2 in. I think 2 is about the right number. Mala is an interesting card. You can only use this card when a Pokemon was knocked out on your opponent's turn, but the last turn. But you do get attached of fire energy from your discard pile to a Pokemon and drop to 6 cards. So this is kind of like getting you back right into the game, hopefully. Especially if you can do this to Dragapult. Like if Charizard was knocked out and they had like a Dragapult on the bench, you can get the fire energy attached without using your once per turn energy attachment, and then put on your psychic energy for the attack. 2 Boss's Orders, 2 Earthen Vessels. I wish I had more Boss's Orders. I wish I had more Earthen Vessels, but 2 is all I could sort of find room in the deck for. 1 for a Sealstone. Again, this is like your budget Pidgeot. You use this on Rotom or Lumineon to get the cards you need. Mesagoza is the stadium I went for. This is the most versatile. It grabs you any Pokemon you want out of your deck as long as you hit heads. Sometimes you go on this nasty cycle of like a Tails, and that really sucks. But it should be half the time you get a Pokemon out of this. Item-wise, 4 rare candies. This is obvious. I wish we could have more rare candy, but we can't. 2 Buddy Poffins. Again, 3 I think would be really great, but doesn't fit. Just 1 Ultra Ball. Just 1 Nest Ball. 2 Super Rods. Super Rod is so important. I don't run a ton of energy in this deck, so putting it back in is really important. Sometimes you do need to get back a Charizard or a Dragapult or a Charmander or something like that, so Super Rod is super important. Lost Vacuum, just a great card. I feel like there are too many times when your opponent will just have that one item that's on them that's just ruining your life, or like maybe a stadium that's doing something bad to you. Lost Vacuum it. And then for energy, only 3 Psychics and 5 Fire, and that is it. I mean, that is not a big energy package. It's a really small energy package, but that's what makes up this deck, and it's fun to play, but I don't think it's the all-powerful of all-powerful decks. It's definitely not that. I wish it was. It has super powerful Pokemon in it, but this is just not how the metagame is going right now. But you drag it out sometimes to play, and it can do well. Like today, it went 2-1, and I was perfectly happy with that result. So there's the deck. Again, you can check it out down below. Alright, let's go ahead and open up our Twilight Masquerade prize packs and see if we got anything good in these packs. Hopefully we can pull some hits from the prizes. So we're going to go all the way back here. We got a Love Ball, Reverse Hollow Foil, Froakie, and Walking Wake. So first pack, nope, the dud. Second pack. Sandshrew, going to Belly Bolt, Rivaroom, Infernape. So nothing to do in those 2 regular packs, unfortunately. Let's check out the Pokemon prize pack series 4. And we got Curlia, important for certain decks. Emergency Jelly, Dragonite. Ooh, nice. We got an Ultra Ball, the Cosmic Foil there. Lost Vacuum. Nice. Just talked about how good that card is. And a basic Psychic Energy. There you have it. Thanks for watching the video. Good luck in your tournament play, and I'll see you next time.